Life science initial public offerings differ from IPOs of tech and other companies in a number of ways. Life science companies, including therapeutics, diagnostics, tools, and medical devices, are much more likely to be pre-revenue than tech companies and IPOs in other industries. Many companies have license fees, R&D support, and the potential to earn milestones and royalties from collaborations or licensing arrangements, but they're unlikely to have recurring revenue from product sales. Many companies can be quite small, with largely virtual operations. The IPO market window for life sciences can also be different than for other sectors. It can be more or less open and sometimes even shut. Even though enormous capital flows have restocked specialist investors in recent years, generalist and specialist investor appetites for IPOs will fluctuate. One dimension is by stage of development. Can early-stage clinical companies go out? Will investors be enthusiastic about preclinical programs? Or are investors mostly interested in phase 3 programs or those on or close to the market? Also, what's hot? In therapeutics, immuno-oncology has been hot and cold. Recent interest in cell and gene therapy has been strong. Neuroscience and neurology have gone in and out of vogue. And interest in tools, diagnostics, and medical devices has been episodic. Valuation for life science companies can be more subjective than when there are objective revenue, EBITDA, and net income metrics to price and benchmark against competitors. So, how to value biotherapeutic IPOs? Investors, investment banks, and sell-side equity research analysts will look to benchmark against other publicly traded comparable companies in recent IPOs. To understand a company's discounted cash flows or probability-weighted net present value, and sum up the parts by adding valuations for various individual programs or platform technologies. And then everyone looks at the dreaded and misleading step up to the last private round. And even M&A factors in, with the mostly psychological impact of momentum from recent comparable acquisition transactions. Licensing and collaboration transactions are a larger factor in life sciences than in most sectors. Royalty revenue for pipeline products is likely to be heavily discounted or not valued at all. Royalty revenue from approved products can signal that a platform is validated, but may directly contribute little to valuation. The value of a royalty stream may be most easily captured when monetized through a sale or debt transaction. Clinical development presents its own challenges. One is timing. Ideally, an IPO should be timed to offer expected news flow around key data and other milestones within 12 to 18 months of the IPO. Whether public or private, companies should have adequate funding to get to next key milestones, plus a buffer to allow time to fundraise. Ongoing clinical development funding needs create periodic overhangs when investors expect dilution from an upcoming equity financing. Another clinical development challenge is managing data releases. Many clinical trials are open label. Companies need to be disciplined about how often management sees updates and when or how often they are shared with stockholders. Yet another complication is reserving trial data for presentation at a major clinical meeting. Companies may choose to announce only top-line data and then release more data concurrent with a conference presentation. The key is to timely disclose materially negative information. Companies have more flexibility on when to disclose neutral or positive data.